Hi everybody, welcome back. Another technical tips. Today we're going to talk a little bit about accelerating inner loop development for Kubernetes. So you might have a lot of questions around the Kubernetes plus inner loop development, specifically developer perspective, and also operation team also wondering how Kubernetes impact accelerating the development process, but also make it fast deployment from developer team, but also maintain your application in production environment based on Kubernetes. Okay, over the past 6 years, I got a lot of questions from a lot of enterprise companies, from individual developer to IT operation team lead around the Kubernetes plus innovative development process, how to accelerate, how to improve that. So I summarized the six main questions to address that interesting curiosity. So first of all, what is the innovative development and why is so important for developers? In traditional monolithic architecture, the inner loop development is the process which the developer takes from writing their code to build, test, and pushing the application to the version control system such as GitHub or internal control system. This workflow continues to repeat when the developer needs to change the code, such as a new feature development, bug fix, improving business logic, and so on. Definitely happening every single day. And then after new modern microservices and cloud-native application architecture came up with the DevOps platform, the test environment needs to be expanded by CI/CD pipeline, which is also one of the new responsibility for developer in the inner loop development. So long story to short, the inner loop development is the developer's daily workflow, which is writing code, compile, build, test it. The reason why this workflow is important for developers is that this repeatable process is the way how developer will write business requirements for that IT system. So maybe next question is around how could Kubernetes impact this inner loop development workflow. Let's say you are developers, and then when you move to Kubernetes, and you might want to enable GitOps or DevOps or ALOps workflow, your inner developer loop becomes more complicated. For example, you will have a few more steps in your inner loop development workflow, such as build a container image based on your application and dependencies, and then the quick sanity test with the running the container image, pushing it to the external registry like a Docker Hub or Quay.io, and next step, pull that image to the remote Kubernetes cluster. With all that, you might also need to externalize some configuration by using Kubernetes feature such as config or secret. And of course, you also need to figure out how to create the YAML file for creating Kubernetes manifesto or require resources. For a developer standpoint, this whole bunch of steps is a new daily work for their normal job. In the end, it will take two or three times longer than traditional inner loop development without Kubernetes. This is the reason why Kubernetes definitely impact your inner loop development. So, what capabilities are required in the cloud native runtime or application framework to build your code and automate deployment quickly in line with the development loop? Before I answer the question, let's take one step back to understand what concerns the developer might have to build their cloud-enabled microservice on Kubernetes for providing new business service to the end user or clients. So developer actually wanted the zero configuration for live coding and hot swap and easy injection of new tools for implementing cloud-enabled capabilities such as metrics, health check, tracing for tolerance, monitoring, messaging, single sign-on, distributing caching, and more. It's all about necessary capability which needed to be integrated with your new cloud-enabled microservices. And new cloud native runtimes must provide these developer experience features by default. And also, developer looking forward to remote development and debugging capability from local machine to the remote container environment. So, as I already mentioned earlier, the new CI/CD pipeline, which impacts developer needed to manage another environment rather than local environment. So that's why they're looking forward to remote debugging and deployment capability. And also, a lot of enterprise companies really love to use reactive application based on event-driven architecture. That's why developer must be able to use event bus or Vertex new uh, framework or program language to build implement reactive application as well as traditional imperative application at the same time. And there are more capability you should be care about for the next cloud native runtime aligned with the inner loop development. For example, integrate with the GitOps workflow and pipeline, and there's some nice tool for generating Kubernetes manifester. This new capability should be considering for adopting new cloud native runtime, specifically accelerating inner loop development workflow. So what benefit will developers and operators team gain from those capabilities? So let's say developer perspective first, the fast inner loop from the individual developer, but also team collaboration in terms of the build and create team with the remote development feature definitely have a new benefit for developer side. And with this capability, increase developer productivity by live coding, hot swap, and easy to enable or disable dependency or resources. Also, integrate new cloud native capability through a plugin or extension technology. And the last but at least, no need for steep learning curve for developers can keep improving development skill sets for interactive and reactive programming at the same time. So otherwise, what is the operation team has good benefit from these capabilities? First of all, they have consistency of test and runtime computation from local to production with the remote development features. But also, they can increase the service and system reliability and reduce unexpected incidents by human errors by unified computation measurement. Let me give some quick example. So you have such a great GitOps or CI/CD pipeline as a part of a DevOps platform. So some beginner developer just made a mistake to change the code, but that which is definitely reporting only local environment, not production. But he already pushed that code in your version control system, but that actually deploy in production in next 5 minutes. But turns out it's not changed code, it's actually time bound. So in order to avoid that thing, so we definitely need to unify the computation management capability in new cloud native runtime or framework, and then the operation team will gain that benefit from this capability. So what business value will enterprise companies gain when they accelerate the innovative development for Kubernetes? So always I want to say just two big values. First of all, they can go to faster market and service with high quality software for specific end user. And then they can also cost saving unnecessary hiring new developers for building same business requirement and even a new technology stack like a reactive event-driven system. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what this benefit come from, because the maybe last question, maybe you really wondering when you convinced to adopt a new cloud native runtime like a Quarkus for accelerate innovative development for your IT leader or CIO level, something like that. So question is, what should IT leaders know about innovative development and how can they help their development team? Innovative development is not only for individual developers matter, but also refers to development workflow among multiple teams and organizations for building cloud-native microservices on Kubernetes. It also enables to accelerate GitOps integration or DevOps pipeline adoption driven by developers' teams. So IT leaders might just want to hire more developers or DevOps engineers to make the loop faster or trying to get rid of integration features between new applications and legacy system using mocks or stub or service virtualization technologies. Or even they might want to build their own tools to address this issue around the innovative development. But I would say the smart way is to adopt a new technology. For example, Quarkus is a new cloud-native Java framework which is designed for developing cloud-native microservices and high-performance serverless application on Kubernetes cluster. It also provides lots of features to address in-loop development issues like live coding, unified configuration, remote development, automate generation of Kubernetes manifesto, and easy to enable cloud-native capability by integrating common open source projects and tools. So this is the way IT leaders help the dev team for improving in-loop development. Thank you for watching. If you have more questions around uh, how to accelerate the in-loop development process on Kubernetes, please feel free add your comment in the video, and just don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you for that. Have a good rest of the day.